Okay, so it's post-Brexit day, and I just want to do a quick overview of the British pound charts. Now, disclaimer here, I didn't actually take this trade. A lot of times it's best to stay out on a day when you know it's going to be super high volatility, even when you know you have a signal or even if you have an opinion. It just depends on your risk management. So I don't want to make it sound like I took this trade, but I do want to take a look at this chart and show you what HSI was telling us the day before. So this is a daily chart right here. And as you can see, we've got the terminal bar of the pattern right here. See, it's light green, lighter green than the other bars, showing that it's the completion bar of the PRZ. It touched all the numbers of the PRZ of this crab. And one of my favorite things about HSI is something that Scott and I really like to see is when you get a signal that totally precedes any reversal in price whatsoever. So in this example, you can see that these two bars are going up. They both close higher. So starting right here, HSI starts to descend even as price goes higher. And we get our actual official signal on this at the completion of this bar. So at the completion of the terminal bar in this case, lines up perfectly with the signal on HSI. It prints 83.40. The bar before was 97.40. So that's the official crossover point, crossing below overbought. And then we get our move. So it's a really good example of HSI and price and pattern all giving us the same message, basically. You know, a lot of times you'll get something in price, but HSI isn't doing anything, or vice versa. This is a really good example of everything sort of all the ducks being in a row. And again, I mean, the movement of HSI before price even prints a single down bar is really critical here. And it's not always like that. Sometimes HSI is a couple bars behind. So in those cases, it's more like it resembles more the typical oscillator. But in a move like this is a relatively unique aspect of HSI for it to give us this signal before anything at all happens to the downside. And I think the 4-hour chart's a really nice one too in this case. So here we are, same pattern. We've got this bearish crab. And here we are. So HSI, in this case, we've got a double test, a divergence. I would have liked to see it test 50 in between here, but it's still pretty close in this case. Still a form of divergence right here. So as you can see, lower high, really low actually, very shallow high, but lower high than the previous. Price is higher, but HSI is lower. And once again, it actually, in this case, happens to line up exactly on the terminal bar itself. So here's the exact terminal bar on the 4-hour chart, and there is our signal. So at this point, again, the official's signal is printed. 81.28 is the level when this bar closes. And then instead of just jumping in right here, you're going to want to have your entry in higher, like at the top of the PRZ, or even better, the extreme of the terminal bar. Which, I mean, you know, by most standards, this would be a pretty good short as well. It'd be a pretty good entry right here, but we really like to be pickier than that. I mean, you can and should be even more precise than that. That's what this is really designed to do, and that's really the reason we have HSI and the PRZ working together, is to get us in at that really small window, give us an extremely small execution window, so we're really confident where to get in and where to get out, and we know that we're not, you know, having to sort of play it by ear, basically. So it should be a pretty precise entry when you get something like this, and you can know the price should start moving pretty quickly afterwards. So I just wanted to show those examples. Again, I wasn't actually short today. I didn't actually take that trade, but it's a pretty textbook example of the types of signals you're looking for. It's just that on most days, it's typically not going to be quite that volatile. You're not going to get that dramatic of a movement. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. And until next time, see ya.